According to Dr. Victor Mertz of the Church Growth Institute, the first 3 to 8 minutes after walking through a door, most people decide whether they're going to come to a church again. The perception they have when entering the church, whether it's the people they meet or just the way the church looks, determines whether they will return. Church attendance continues to decline, and Christians are less likely to share their faith with others, which should be an indicator that the trouble lies within the church. And we should start by the way we treat the visitors. First-time church visitors' perception, according to Dr. Tom Clegg, the consultant of the Church Growth Institute, churches are hitting a plateau in membership and are declining. We should call people guests, not visitors. There should be a place to meet them after the service at the back of the church, and there should be someone available to speak to them. Well, I have been in churches where people never spoke to you, and in churches where people actually contact you right off the bat. Don't ask people to fill out a guest card and put it in the offering plate, because a lot of people have the misconception that churches just want money, and that turns them off and they might not come back for that. There are some methods used to follow up on church guests, and some of those are survey cards, and after the survey cards they should be followed up with a letter immediately, welcome to the church. And to integrate a visitor into the church, a congregation should touch visitors often via visits, phone calls, and letters. That's according to Dr. Elmer Towns from Liberty University. These efforts should start soon after the person's initial visit, but not to the point of overwhelming. In addition to follow-up with visitors, a critical step in bringing them back into the church again. So the pastor or a deacon or someone should visit them and let them know that they are welcome. The importance of the follow-ups is we have a personal visit, a phone call, the pastor visits, church members designated. Some churches have care groups that do that. I'd like to read a statement from somebody that visited the church one time, and just to show you the importance of it. This is from Tom S. Rayner from churchcentral.com, and this is what one of the members said. It says, "When I accepted the Lord, I knew that I had not done anything to deserve being saved. But I knew that being a Christian and belonging to a church meant that something would be expected of me. I learned that lesson when I received 7 different contacts from church members when I first visited the church. I thought to myself, these Christians take their beliefs seriously. Their commitment inspired me to become a Christian and eventually to be involved in a ministry like they are." So you see that by visiting that church and by keeping in contact with them, this gentleman wasn't even saved, and because of that he was saved. One of the big things we need to know is that everybody has a need to belong. Not just adults, but children and everybody. There's a basic psychological need that everybody needs to belong to something or a group or something. And we go into the world of psychology, which is the world. You'll see that on Maslow's, you see Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That first need is hunger and thirst, which we take care of, then safety, and then social needs, or the sense of belonging, is the third on the pyramid, and we can't get to self-actualization until we get to the top. So everybody has a need to belong to something, whether it's a youth group, a family, or a church. And if you think of that on a spiritual level, then you'll see that that until we get past the sense of belonging, we can't get to where we need to be with God. We have to belong to something. That's just a basic need that humans have. We all need to relate to visitors just as Jesus related the golden rule to us. We should treat them the way we want to be treated. We need to treat them with dignity and respect. follow up their business, visit, and make sure that they feel a part of the church. So what we need to do is we need to keep the first-time visitors to church. We need to see them as we would family members. We should help them feel welcome, loved, and needed. We should not leave them to their own devices. These sheep that are left to fend for themselves are not always, but often are eaten by the wolves. And we all know that the devil goes along like a wolf in sheep's clothing, seeking who he can devour and destroy. And sometimes if we don't get these people back in church or follow back up, then they might not ever come back to church again, and it might really destroy them. So we need to look at them next time we have a visitor. We need to look at them that it might not just be our loss to church, but it might be God's loss too. So thank you.